Let me discuss with you now about the sitting up projection. Meaning, instead of really traveling, we just sit up and stay there outside the body, but with the legs still connected. There are different reasons that cause this type of experience, but it has some specific characteristics because the individual will sense, in a way, both bodies, right? Because it's observing the non-physical reality, looking around, but still very close to the physical body. I have a very interesting experience in which once we were in the consciousness development program at the IAC. It was an in-person class, so we had there all of the students. I was not teaching. Another instructor, Wagner Allegretti, was teaching. So I decided that I was going to lie down and just relax for a moment while the class was going on in the practical part. While I was lying down, I left the body. Of course, I started disconnect. I never left the room. I was always inside that room. And it was brief projection because there was a lady that was snoring. So her snoring started disturbing me and I ended up coming back to the body. I started hearing that while I was still out and I noticed it bringing me back. But I was out for enough time to see another student sitting up outside the body. So the physical body was lying down, but she was sitting up. And she was like moving energies and doing something as if she had in her mind the idea of giving herself energy or bringing in more energy for whatever reason. So I saw her doing that. And then I also saw another student that was returning from a projection. It was super interesting because I saw him passing through the ceiling and re-entering his body. Now, when the class concluded, and then all of the students were telling their experience, I didn't say anything. I was the last one to talk about my experience, but it was very interesting because the lady didn't remember anything. She just said, well, I had an impression that some moment I was looking outside my body, like sitting, but it was so confusing. I don't really know what happened. So for her, that would be like nothing happened. The guy that I saw returning to the body, he just said, you know what? I saw Nanci projected. And I also saw this other lady, I don't remember her name, it was a long time ago. And she was just sitting and I could vividly clear see both. Nanci was lucid because he noticed I saw him and he saw me, so we recognized each other lucid outside the body, but we didn't communicate. It was very brief. That was so interesting to me to see how the lady had that experience, and that was confusing to her. She couldn't really interpret it, what she was sensing or what she had sensed in that out-of-body experience. Also, she was not very lucid, so she was like acting like a little automatically, which sometimes happens in some out-of-body experiences, and that's something we want to avoid. We want to be fully conscious. We want to know what's going on. We want to decide what we are doing. But that happened to her. And also super interesting to me, the fact that the guy was so lucid. He had already had a couple of experiences before that date, including in the class. So perhaps because of this, he was a little bit more experienced, or it was easier for him to remember. But some of these experiences teach us a lot, not because of what happened, not because I had a great experience, but because of little details that we can observe, we can compare. Little by little, we start putting data together and examining, and that's how we learn. I invite you to do your self-research. Research how you detach from the body, what type of sensations are common to you. And if you don't have out-of-body experiences, do you have any type of experience related to sensing the non-physical reality? In which way? How does that affect you? It's very important that we keep observing and keep learning. Otherwise, we may just miss opportunities to get information that we wouldn't get it if it were not for our sensitivity. So explore. I invite you to.